What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's Wise 5 Picks stream, plus quick NBA discussion when we're done. I don't think anything super intense, anything super crazy, right, Ben?
Not too crazy. I'll give out a good prop I like, and if you've been following the props, they've been pretty hot. So I think I got a good one for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Nuggets game tonight, so can't not talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So quick recap of yesterday. Man, we got. I hate always complaining about our luck, but we got victimized last time out by some really awful defense from the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Did we not? So
that was tough.
There was the most routine ground ball of all time. I could literally have easily fielded that and thrown it to first base. That this guy just bobbles and drops and allows the run that cost the Nerfy to get on base. So we lost the money line there also through several errors and some other bad pitching from Flaherty just in general. We also lost the Rays team total over. We finally hopped on them as soon as they went cold. But we won both things that we had in the Cleveland-Detroit game, the under 9 and Aaron Savali over 5.5 Ks. And of course, these are from Tuesday. We didn't stream yesterday. So you ready to hop into today, Ben?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So kind of a weird slate today. 5 games have already started, plus a lot of double headers just in general. I think the Rockies and Mets are playing 2. The Jays and Yankees are playing 2. And if I'm not mistaken, the Reds and Nationals are playing a 7-inning game because they're like making up the remnants of yesterday's game or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know exactly what's going on with that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I could also be making that up. I don't know if that's true. Had a plus 500 parlay yesterday, but lost the last leg to the Wild. Everybody's been riding Vegas, but the Wild are playing really, really well. They're playing fantastic hockey.
I know a few people who literally bet because was it 3-1, Nick?
I believe so.
They've just been betting the Knights every game since then. Mm-hmm. So they got to win at some point, right?
They do. They do have to win at some point. I'm right about the Reds. Okay, maybe. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So first pick of the day, money line play, is coming from the second game in the Rockies-Mets series today. We're going to go with the Rockies money line at plus 120. So in that game, we have Anthony Senzatella on the mound for the Rockies and Joey Lucchesi on the mound for the Mets. So Ben, you're quite familiar with Senzatella. So tell us a little bit about him and why we think he's going to have some success against the Mets.
Yeah, first and foremost, the Mets just with a AAA lineup. And, sometimes you say that and you're like, they have a AAA lineup. But they legit have guys who were just called up from the AAA. So first and foremost, I think Senzatella has an advantage on the mound today. And, Lucchesi is a guy that the Rockies should be able to get some hits off of. I was making this point earlier to Nick. We saw the Rockies with a very bad road stand against the Padres offensively, but they are seeing the ball better off the hand of the pitcher, and they're connecting on pitches. We're seeing it a little bit today, but Stroman's been able to get out of jams today. But I like the spot for the Rockies. I think if you were to look at the series before it started, this was kind of the game that they could, quote-unquote, steal. And it's a 7-inning game, too. So I think that favors the Rockies here. And, yeah, we like the value at around plus 120.
Yep, I agree. I mean, it's the Rockies have the better top-end bats playing in the game between these two teams. So I think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. I mean, the total's only 5.5 in a 7-inning game. And I think the Rockies are the one that'll get 3. That's kind of what I think.
And Nick, I think we made the point a few games ago about the Rockies against left-handed pitchers, and it's unique with them because left-handed batters such as Blackman and Tapia are more contact hitters in that situation, so they're able to make good contact and just try to get on base. And then you have the cleanup guys, like a guy like Story, right, who can potentially, hit one out of the park. So if we can get some guys on base here, I think it's a good on paper spot here for the Rockies. So I think the Rockies are still top 5 against lefties.
So they have the third highest batting average this year against lefties. They're hitting 276 against them. And if you look at some other advanced stats, like a WRC plus, they're 14th in that, but still hitting above average against lefties. And I think again, just getting guys on base in this one is the key thing. We're not looking for tons of home runs, tons of extra base hits. In this kind of game, we just need 2 or 3 runs, and I think that gets the win.
Yeah, if we get 3 runs here, I think we win this bet. So, team total for the Rockies, what, 2.5 maybe in a 7-inning game?
Yeah, exactly. Jason Lucchesi is in fact dog shit. Team totals in this probably 2 and 2. Oh, Mets over under 3, Rockies over under 2.5. They usually don't add up to.
Yeah, those 7-inning games, I think the books are still trying to figure out exactly how they approach those. But in theory, they should all just always add up regardless of the innings, right?
Yeah. Well, no. That's a more complicated and nuanced conversation.
Yeah. Well, let's not go too deep there. But you know what I'm saying. It should be the same principle.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So pick number 2 for today. Our game total is going to be under 7 runs in game 2. Not game 1, game 2. Between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. And this is coming in at minus 109.
Nick, let me start this one off because I want to make a point with this game. So I preached this before, more so in the NFL season, but with handicapping, sometimes it's all about arriving at a truth versus trying to defend a point. And I think a lot of times, as sports bettors, we get stubborn, and, sharper bettors can, or I even could say handicappers can get stubborn trying to defend a point, right? Where they already have their research done and they're like, I'm sticking to it. Here's why, right? I think here is the prime example where Nick and I kind of came together and we figured out, well, I think we have a better bet than what I originally came up with. And I first of all liked the Yankees money line and their team total, but the more we dove into this one, we figured out that the under is a really good play here. And for the most part, it's how the Yankees bats have been against lefties without Stanton, would you say?
Yeah, exactly. So we can kind of look, I'm not going to do this with or without Stanton, but just looking in the month of April versus the month of May for the Yankees against left-handed pitching. So at the start of the year, Yankees against lefties was something that we really liked to take. So in April, the Yankees were great against lefties. I mean, they hit 264 against them, 462 slugging percentage, 120 WRC plus, 198 isolated slugging percentage. So that's your slugging percentage minus your batting average. So basically how many bases beyond first base you get per at bat. Since then, though, so if we look instead from May 1st through today, the Yankees are actually pretty terrible against left-handed bats. WRC plus of 69, which means that they're 31% below average against lefties. Batting average has dropped from 264 down to 220. Isolated slugging percentage. So this is basically your raw power output. Worst in the league in the month of May against lefties for the Yankees now. So I don't know if it's just missing Stanton or if it's something else. But the Yankees have really, really been struggling against left-handed pitching. And Robbie Ray is a really good pitcher. I mean, he's got electric stuff, as you all want me to say.
Larry's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm here for. I don't care about the picks.
Yep, you just like the way I say the word electric. But Ray is somebody who, and I really like this also. So the Blue Jays bullpen has been pretty bad recently, but Ray is a guy who goes deep into games. I mean, he'll give you 6 or 7 innings pretty consistently. I mean, over his last 6 starts, he's only got taken out in the 6th inning once. 5.2 innings is the least he's given you. You guys will do some b-ball after this? Yes. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball.
I got a money play for you, money play.
Ray's also, he's striking out a lot of guys. We had his strikeout prop last time out, which missed on the 0.5. But he's got 9, 10, 9, and 7 Ks last 4 games. Only 1 walk in that time span. I think he's going to do a good job limiting base runners. Might give up a home run, might give up 2 home runs. But if he pitches 6 of the 7 innings, then that's great. And Ben, I know you are a big Jordan Montgomery fan. Is that right?
I don't know how that happened, but here we are. No, I think we bet on the Yankees one time before with Montgomery out there earlier in the season. We got some pretty good value with him at that time, and I still feel like he's a solid pitcher. He's an interesting guy just because I think when you look at the Yankees rotation, he doesn't get as much respect just because he's probably not one of the top 2. But if you look at his numbers, very solid. He has pretty good command at the plate, and he's a lefty here as well. So I think he can minimize the damage, and he can go 6 innings too as well. So I think that overall, I think this is a good play because you look at the name recognition of these 2 teams, and I don't think many public bettors are running to play an under here in this spot. But when you dive deeper into the numbers, I think this is a really good play.
Yep, I agree. So, pick number 3. There's a couple comments that you guys have made that we've kind of ignored. Namely about the White Sox. Our team total, White Sox over 4.5 runs, minus 130. Maybe not too much of a surprise. But the White Sox coming up against Bruce Zimmerman, a pretty bad left-handed pitcher against the best team in the league against left-handed bats. It's a...
How good are they, Nick?
It kind of feels like a no-brainer. Yeah. So, let's see. So just in the month of May, against lefties, White Sox are hitting 259, 129 WRC plus, tons and tons of power coming out of the White Sox bats against left-handed pitchers. Also, this was kind of weird. This is not necessarily the most relevant stat, but in the first inning against lefties, in this time span, the White Sox are hitting 469. So the White Sox are gonna score early. I think they get 3 or 4 minimum on Zimmerman in the first 3 or 4 innings, and then it's just a matter of either it's not 3 or 4, it's 5 against Zimmerman, and the team total hits, or it's several innings against the Orioles bullpen, and only needing to get 1 or 2 runs in that time span. It seems a little silly to me that this is being offered in places at 4.5 and not 5. It is so it is sitting at 5 in a lot of spots, but I think the fact that we get this at 4.5 makes it a really, really appealing play. So what about run line? I don't know about the run line. So I guess it kind of just comes down to Dylan Cease then, and how he does. So he's a little all over the place. So like last time out, he gave up 5 runs. Start before that, didn't give up any runs. He's had 3 starts this year, actually, where he's given up no runs. 3 starts where he's given up 3 or more, plus leaving 4+ innings for the White Sox bullpen. I don't really have a good read on which Dylan Cease we're going to get, how the Orioles are going to perform against him. So I'd kind of just like to avoid that personally. I think by taking the White Sox team total, you get to not really care at all about how the Orioles do against Cease.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. Cease, I think, I don't want to throw out the word overrated, but I think there could be some regression due. At the same time, he could have a really good outing. So I think it's better just to single in on this team total based off of what the reasoning was there. So, yeah, and Nick, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets up to 5.
Oh, I mean, it is at 5 in other places. We have to pay -129 on DraftKings to get 4.5.
5's at probably -110.
-110, yeah.
6 runs though. Yeah, I think in if you've been watching us for a while, you've noticed this, but in scenarios like this, 9 times out of 10 we'll take the 4.5 or the 5.5 versus the 6, because then now you have to get a whole additional run for 20 cents.
Yeah,
So.
I think for only 20 cents, it's a no-brainer to go 4.5 here if you can.
Yeah.
All right.
And Nick, this is kind of it's on topic, a little bit of a tangent here, but I've seen some places try to make like the breakdown of like runs per versus like the juice paid. That'd be kind of fun to break that down sometime, if that makes sense.
Can you explain a little bit more what you're getting at with that?
Okay, so for example, this is at 4.5, and if we jump up to 5, it's basically trying to figure out like what do we think a half run is worth per juice, if that makes sense, the price we're paying. So it's kind of complicated. I've seen some more advanced handicap Twitter pages try to break it down. In football, it's a little easier to kind of explain because basically sometimes you'll be basically having like a half point and then the juice you're paying, and it's like, in theory, is it worth that? Is it worth that amount, more or less?
Yeah.
Versus like other books, if you can find it at a 5, but what are you paying at? So, anyways, I'm probably going down a rabbit hole that we don't need to get into today.
Yeah, so you're ready for the player prop?
I'm ready.
All right. So this player prop, when we found it earlier, it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb in that it seemed kind of obvious, and it made me feel personally like I was missing something here. But our player prop, we're gonna go Chris Bassett over 5.5 strikeouts at +102. And yeah, money plays. Oh, what is that called? It's Ben, where they cut out the middleman. You know the guys who founded that.
Say it again.
The betting platform.
Oh, that's Bet Openly.
Bet Openly, yeah.
Yep.
That's the one.
Larry, you're right. I say a lot of crazy stuff sometimes, so.
If that makes sense.
Someone once said, they said, instead of saying if that makes sense, you say, did I explain myself correctly? Because then it puts the homage on you versus making it seem like, Nick, you don't. Does that make sense, Nick?
Yeah, are you stupid enough?
If I said, did I explain myself correctly, I think half the time Nick would be like, no, you actually didn't.
I'm too polite. Even though you never make any sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just
it all makes sense in my head. It just, when it comes out, it just sometimes doesn't register,
Yeah, that happens to all of us. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So yeah, let's get into this player prop though.
Chris Bassett.
5.5, Nick.
5.5 at plus money. We're getting this at +102. And it kind of just, like, somebody please let me know if I'm missing something here. So Bassett, in his last 7 starts, has had 8 strikeouts against the Tigers, 8 strikeouts against Baltimore, 9 strikeouts against Tampa, 7 strikeouts against Toronto, 10 strikeouts against Boston, 4 strikeouts, which went under, against Minnesota, and then 8 strikeouts last time out against this same Angels team. So not only is he going over 5.5, he's going over 6.5, and he's almost always going over 7.5. So what is being missed here? And Mike Trout is out. And
It's Ohtani.
and
That's what.
Well, so Otani's on the mound on the other side, so he might not even bat, or he might not even start.
I always forget if he's pitching. He's been DHing, I believe.
Has he? I think there's been a couple starts that he's made where he hasn't.
Okay, you may be
DH'd.
correct because I know the first start of the season he did DH, but to your point, I don't know if he's doing that every game.
Yeah, let me look. So
But-
last start on the 19th, he did DH. On the 11th, he did DH. On the 5th, he sat out on the 5th. And on April 20th. So 2 of his 6 starts this year, he has not batted. 4 of the 6 he has. But still, that's like a 1 in 3 chance that Otani's not going to be DHing today. And if we have for sure no Trout, potentially no Ohtani. Ohtani probably will be in though against a righty. And this Oakland team, yeah, he does hit typically. Yeah, so 4 of 6 he has hit. But this Angels
And
team,
I don't think this changes it.
yeah, I don't
one way
think
or another.
it's a huge thing. It actually might be better because Ohtani does strike out quite a bit. But the Angels strike out more than anybody against right-handed pitching. And you have a guy who is consistently hitting 7 or 8 strikeouts, and a guy who in his last start against this same team got 8, and we can get over 5.5 for plus money. Like, can somebody please let me know if I'm missing something? Because it kind of just seems too obvious, too good to be true.
I think it's just the Ohtani factor, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
People gloss over this stuff when Ohtani is on the mound. I mean, sounds silly, but I can't think of anything else why this isn't 6.5.
Yeah, I mean it really does feel too good to be true. Which in a way is scary because there is
It
probably
is
something
sometimes.
that I'm missing, but I don't see it because I'm missing it. And I don't really have
Looking
anything
at-
else to say about this.
I was just looking at splits, and I mean, I guess the Angels bats have seen him quite a bit, but I guess quite a bit is only 64 plate appearances. That's not crazy.
No, I mean, and a lot of that is probably Trout, who's not playing. And FanDuel has a boost on the Angels and the over. Perfect.
I love that.
That means,
Yes.
okay, that makes me feel better about this.
2-unit play.
Uh-huh. Jack, you talking about the Javier Baez play? Because that was
Literally,
amazing.
okay, Nick, so I watched that again. All he had to do was touch first base. It was 2 outs. There were
Uh-huh.
2 outs. That's
For anybody who hasn't seen it, Ben, can you link the play in the chat?
yeah. It's gonna go down in history.
Yeah, one of the absolute craziest plays I've seen in a long time.
It's kind of like if you were playing the show and you put it. What's the easiest difficulty you can go up against?
Rookie.
You were playing rookie. I don't even know if the computer would allow that to happen, Nick.
No, I don't think you can do that. He like got himself caught in a rundown between home and first base.
And Nick,
the guy was
the
chasing
computer
him.
simulations are gonna explode on that one.
Yeah.
I don't. That's when you just throw out and you say that. Let's just act like that never happened.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
So, yeah, Jack, we did see it. We saw it right before you hopped on, and I was like, Nick, you gotta watch this.
And everybody, if you haven't seen it, make sure you click the link to the tweet with the video and watch it. It is 100% worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you ready for our Nerfy play, Ben?
Yep, let's hop into it.
So, Nerfy today is going to come in the game between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. And the no-run first inning in this one is sitting at minus 120. So let me pull it up real quick. Lock in the line. Nice little afternoon Nerfy action. Oh, it's at minus 129 here. Oh, I think it's at minus 120 on Superbook.
I would say anything over 130 would be a play in my mind on this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it actually did move to minus 125. They're on to us. Yeah, and then PointsBet doesn't even have a Nerfy up. So let me change this from minus 120 to minus 125. But yeah, so trivia question. What is the only team in the league that hasn't hit a home run in the first inning yet this year?
Kansas City.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
I mean, it was pretty much a 50-50.
Yeah, well, it could have been like, I don't know, Milwaukee or something. I was just pulling your chain.
Yeah, you were trying to set me up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is points betting? Whew.
We'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah,
also.
we gotta. We went down. That was the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes when we went down the. But yeah, it is the Royals, guys.
Yeah. So the Royals have not hit a home run in the first inning all year. Let me go back and pull up my first inning batting stats by team. Yeah, so the Royals are bad in the first inning. They are hitting for no batting average. They're only hitting 217 in the first inning. They've played, I think, 47 games this year and have only scored 19 runs in the first inning. And again, no home runs. So not hitting for average, not hitting for power, not scoring any runs. McClanahan on the mound for Tampa has only he's allowed one first inning run all year. That was against Toronto last time out. But he's 4 for 5, not allowing any first inning runs. Tampa, for how good they've been offensively this year, is actually kind of not good in the first inning. Also, money plays, exactly. I was thinking about this, and I was like, I'm going to give this stat out on stream today, and it's going to be the jinx. There's no way they don't hit one today.
Nah, money plays. In
Fingers
the
crossed.
Twitch world, jinxes don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that. I'm going to say that, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen today.
Yeah, so here's the next trivia question. What team is tied with the Mets for the second fewest home runs in the first inning all year? The answer to that would be...
I am going to go on a limb here and say the Tampa Bay Rays.
Correct. It is, in fact, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays have only hit 3 home runs in 51 games in the first inning this year. They're also not hitting for average. They're only hitting 228 in the first inning. They've scored 23 first inning runs in 51 games. Also, Brady Singer on the mound for Kansas City is 9 for 9, not allowing runs in the first inning. So 2 of the worst first inning offenses in the league, 2 pitchers who are, I would say, above average pitchers. Both of them are young. They're both prospects coming up, making their debuts this year, or first full-time MLB stints this year. both with really strong stuff. There might be another word that you could use to describe the stuff as well. It starts with an E.
I said nasty.
Yeah, it's nasty. Their stuff is nasty.
Also, Nick, both these lineups offensively today haven't seen either pitcher at all before. Majority of the time, that benefits the pitchers just because in that first inning, guys are trying to feel them out. So we got a lot working for us today.
Yeah, we do. One. So I think at -125, the value's there.
It is.
I think there's a lot of Rays hype right now because of how well their offense was doing. So I think that we're getting some good value here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just watch that play. It was insane.
Yeah.
Truly unique play.
The first base coach is like, keep going. That's great.
So yeah, let's talk about some basketball.
Let's do it.
And then we're going to talk about what is points betting.
Nick, so I have two props tonight. I have one in the Lakers game, one in the Nuggets game. I'm going to give out one on stream, and then the other just the subscribers are going to have access to. So you can pick which one. It's up to you.
So let's give out the Suns Lakers one here. We'll save the Nuggets one for the subscribers.
All right, cool. They're both going to hit, by the way. I'm
course.
Pretty confident. I've been
every prop we've ever given out has hit.
Yeah, I've been pretty hot with these props. I've always been really good with NBA props in the playoffs. I just have a good feel for things, and my strategy, Nick, is basically try to target guys who have been quiet the games before, who I think are going to regress, and it works out pretty well, especially in the playoffs. Everything is like over amplified in the playoffs, where it's like if a guy has 2 bad games, people are like, yeah. But not tonight.
So who's the guy who's had 2 bad games, who is not going to have a third one?
His name is KCP. Well, that's what his initials are.
Kencavius Caldwell Pope.
Yes. If you watch the end of the game 2 between these two teams, LeBron was absolutely ripping into KCP. He wanted him to cut. KCP didn't cut. If you've watched LeBron play, which most of you have, he'll post up sometimes and literally, he's like a quarterback out there. He's like, you cut, you go here. And KCP was just standing around. So long story short, ripped his ass, got into him. And KCP has been missing a lot of wide open shots. But I think they go down today. And this is it's partially a volume play because he's going to get so many open looks either off the pick and roll if he's involved in the pick and roll or if he's on the wing with AD and LeBron. A lot of times the help defense gets sucked to the middle and he has wide open shots. So I think being back in Staples Center today, I think he's going to hit this number. So I think he's going to end up with like 10 or 11. That's probably pretty realistic for today. It's -127 at 8.5. So I like the over here. KCP over 8.5 points.
There you have it.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the spread point of view here. It's a big spread. Lakers are at home. I don't know what to expect. And yeah, the Bucks Heat. Ugh. God, the Heat have looked terrible.
I feel like a lot of the kind of public reads, I guess, have been terrible.
Yeah.
So I know people have been high on the Heat because of their performance in the playoffs last year against the Bucks, and the Bucks are just thrashing them. People obviously have been high on the Lakers against the Suns, just disrespecting the Suns, and that hasn't worked out well. And people have been disrespecting the Mavericks. They've been all over the Clippers, and that just hasn't been working out at all either.
Mm-hmm. I do like the angle with Suns money line. I like that.
Yeah, I mean the they're the 2 seed for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why is the 2 seed plus 215 against the 7 seed?
I think people are really buying into that narrative that, Lakers are back at home, which I did say with KCP, but I think, it's one thing to score over 8.5 points. It's another thing to win a game against a really good team. So,
yeah, I have a question for you. So if this Lakers team, they just traded their entire roster with the Clippers. So now this is the LA Clippers in the same situation. Are they minus 275? Just or is it the fact that it's the Lakers kind of inflating
I see
these
what you're
lines
saying.
is what I was getting at.
They would still be favored.
Still be favored. But yeah, I don't think that the Suns would be plus 215.
That's you got it. I mean, it's this stuff is all cooked into the line, as you know, and I think the Lakers, just for being the Lakers and LeBron, I mean, if you look at the numbers, Devin Booker is outperforming LeBron in 2 games so far. So I think the big thing, Nick, with this one is Chris Paul, his injury. And I think a lot of people are scared to back the Suns, but I can guarantee you that the Lakers are getting a lot of public money here.
And we all know what that means.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing. Actually, in the NBA, it probably does, because the NBA is actually rigged. So.
And, Nick, I mean, we want to talk about reverse line moves here. Lakers getting the money. It was at -7. Now it's at 6.5. So it's going to leave that there. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yep. And then, as you said, you have a prop that you like in Nuggets Blazers. But that is going to be available in Discord for our capwise.com subscribers.
Yep. As far as this one goes, though, Nick, I have a bias to the Nuggets, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But these 2 teams, I mean, I think what you should do here is either live bet this one or just sit it out, and then whoever loses, bet them game 4. Sounds simple, but that's the angle I like. That's what I did in game 1. I said, hey, sitting this one out. Blazers won. Nuggets dominated game 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
These 2 teams are just so
you
similar.
had 3 player props in game 2. 2 of them hit, 1 of them missed on the 0.5.
Yep, on the 0.5. That was Norman Powell. And he had a bad game, too.
He had foul trouble.
So. Yeah, foul trouble and missing wide open shots. So, yeah. So, again, just kind of sit this one out or live bet it, because these 2 teams are so evenly matched. It's just hard to say who's going to show up. So.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a look at points betting for a second. So points betting is an interesting concept. So I think it's only available on PointsBet. Do I have a lean on Canes Preds? I mean, everybody's been on the Canes every time. All I'm saying is UC Saros can ruin that.
I think you called that last time, right?
Yeah, I think the Canes came back and won that one in OT, if I'm not mistaken. But everybody who was on, I think people were on Canes in regulation to take out some of the juice. Those people lost. People who were on Canes -1.5. Those people lost. I would, again, not touch anything like that.
Also,
Nick,
real quick,
I don't like Canes money line, and I don't like Canes buck line.
Before we hop on into the points betting, I just want to say the pick you gave out in the Discord to anyone who's in the Discord for free was magnificent. Under 5 runs in the Rockies Mets.
Yeah, I mean, they
so.
scored the minimum number of runs you could possibly score in a baseball game.
That's very true. Yeah. So, and make sure to hop in the Discord if you guys aren't in there already. Jack said he's going to shave his head if Nashville wins.
I mean, for all we know, you could be bald already.
Yeah.
And you just need to do a little maintenance.
Don't be trying to trick us.
Anyways.
It's not good betting karma. He actually has like a mullet.
He could have a mullet. Could have a giant afro.
What's worse there?
Could have a foot tall mohawk. I have no idea.
But yeah, let's talk about this points betting because I know we've had many discussions on it.
So let's just take a look at the game total. So this is in the Lakers and Suns game. So the total, fixed odds total, is set at 212. So a traditional bet, a fixed odds bet, you can either go over or under with whatever the vig is, and you win, and you know how that works. So points betting allows you to win more money if you are more correct on what side you're on, basically. So say you think the game is going to go way over. It's like better than betting an alternative line is doing the points betting. So say you were to points bet, not a fixed odds bet, but a points bet on over 214 in the, not logged in, I need to go back 1 second. Waiting.
You said over, right? 214's over?
Mm-hmm. Why is it not letting me? Oh, okay. 1 second. Back to the NBA. Back to this game. Back to points betting. Okay. So, if we were to points bet over 214, how this works is... Oh, I'm just going to read this. So, this is a bet on the total points scored in the game. For every point that it goes over 214, so say you bet $1 on this. For every point that it goes over 214, you win $1. However, if you lose, for every point it goes under 211 by, you lose $1. So if you put $1 on this, if you put $1 on over 214, and the game finishes at 254, then you win $40 on your $1 bet. However, if the game finishes at, say, 200, you would lose $11 on your $1 bet. That's kind of how it works.
And you can set basically parameters, right? Nick?
Yeah. So yeah, you can limit your gains and losses. You can say, I only want to win or lose up to 10 times my stake or 100 times my stake. And
Which some people are like, why would you do that? But we just gave out the example, $1. Let's try 100.
Or yeah.
Right?
Or you can bet on this degenerate shit right here. Like
this is just the
multipliers
of all rabbit holes.
So you could do a points bet like this on LeBron James, points times rebounds times assists. And now even if you're only betting $1, say LeBron somehow gets no assists in this game, then you would lose $1,575 on your $1 bet.
Or if he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a huge risk and a huge reward.
Yes. Yeah. Vice versa, Nick. The game goes into triple OT.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, LeBron has 20 assists.
Exactly.
Then what? So I would say the thing with points betting is it's fun to do. It's different, but I don't think unless you have systems and simulation models that are more advanced than what Nick has, which is doubtful. Maybe you shouldn't dabble in these like too crazy with crazy money, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy shit you can do.
Yeah, the funniest is the maybe they have this in basketball too with the time, like
first basket accelerator.
Yeah. They have
home
that
team player time
football
of
too. It's by like seconds. Trying to do the math there. Yeah, then football, it's like when will the first point be scored, and then you can. Yeah, it's
a great way to either win or lose a lot of money really fast.
Yeah, at least you can lose your money in a cooler way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
it's a great way to see a change in your bank account balance. There's no guarantee as to what kind of change it's going to be, but there will be a change.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that more or less wraps up the stream. I got nothing else. Again, kind of a weird baseball slate today with all the early games, all the doubleheaders. I think we're gonna try and come up with another pick or two for the Discord. At least that's my plan. Get a little extra stuff in there, plus the Nuggets Blazers player prop also going in the Discord. So yeah.
Yep. So there you have it, guys. Feeling good about these. I like that Nerfy a lot too.
Mm-hmm. I think we have
But
some kind of sneaky plays here, right? Not a.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. So
that Toronto Yankees is definitely a sneaky play.
It is. That it is. So we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 11 a.m. Mountain Time here on Twitch. And if anybody happens to be watching on YouTube, these are actually being live streamed on YouTube also, and the videos are being saved there. So if you are on YouTube, come check out the Twitch. It's twitch.tv/cap_wise, CAP_WIZE. That's the best place to check out the content. And yeah, good luck today, as always, with the picks. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Yep. See you guys later.